Still got you on, Jay. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, it looks like we're live. In fact, we've been live for a few more seconds than I realized. Hi, everybody. My name is Tyler. I am the executive director of TYR and one of the two directors of this particular performance of the Scottish play, which is what I'm going to be referring to it for the next 2 minutes. For those who don't know, the Scottish play is a cursed play. I believe that some of the original mythology goes down to a belief that Mr. Shakespeare used actual witch incantations in his scripting, and for punishment, some witches cursed the production. Since that time, in the original theatrical debut of this show, one of the principal actors died, forcing Mr. Shakespeare to go on stage as the role. Street riots broke out when two rival productions of this show, the actor rivalry was something serious, and street riots broke out and spilled onto the stage. I believe Sir Laurence Olivier had like stage weights or something fall on him or really near him. I can't remember that one. Another actor's legs caught fire after their tights were mysteriously soaked in kerosene. The list goes on and on and on, which begs a couple questions. The first question is, why would anybody do this show? Because actors are a superstitious lot, for those who don't know. And yeah, this show's been in continual production since its inception. So obviously, the curse has not actually dissuaded people from doing it. The other question someone might ask is, why would you, TYR, do this as a Zoom show when you are more reliant on tech than you're going to ever be? And, you know, aren't we pretty much begging someone's power to go out mysteriously? The answer is, well, the first answer, I think, is that people keep doing this show because we really like the show. It's such a fascinating play, and it deals with such, like, naked ambition in such a raw and visceral way. It's really hard to not do this play. But the other aspect of the reason I think, in terms of why do you do this as a Zoom show, TYR, this has been such a weird year. If there's ever been a year that could claim to be cursed, this has a pretty good call, pretty good claim to it. And I've been so inspired during this cursed year. This cursed year, as weird and hard and challenging as it has been, has also given me such amazing examples of actors who have adapted through the curses and made something really incredible and really special. Show after show, class after class, students, while never getting to be in the same room together, have rehearsed and done really fine, ambitious work. They've created own costumes, own spaces, and have really like not let this year stop them from taking on challenges and taking on art and really making amazing things happen in really uncertain times. With that in mind, it almost felt like we should do the cursed play. It almost felt like it's on brand. It almost felt like it's something that is almost appropriate for our students to let them tackle this too and really enjoy all of the things that can and probably will go wrong. I have no doubt someone's going to have some tech issue today, and I have such amazing faith in these performers to roll with it and make something glorious come from it. That's a really neat thing to be able to say, and it's been a really great experience from where I'm standing to get to be with all of them and part of this adaptive audible of a school year, semester, everything. Before we begin, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Fruitvale Optometry, who have been wonderful in supporting us through some financially difficult times that these COVID times do represent, as well as Alameda Children's Musical Theater, who were pivotal for us at our inception, and now as we've been coming to the end of the COVID era, have also been incredibly supportive in helping us kind of make it to the next stage. I also want to point out that while this is the last TYR Youth performance of the semester, anyone who was not able to join today, you can tell them they can rewatch at this link later. Our summer registration is open. And if you have any interest in joining us for summer, we will be dipping our toe back into some in-person instruction. We'll be doing a cosplay camp, Best of Broadway, Roaring Twenties in Review, several different types of games camps, including In the Park and Dungeons and Dragons, and also something called Last Year in Review, where we will be doing some student-written sketches and developing them and then performing them all about the experience of this very strange last year. I think that's all that I have for you. There's probably something I've forgotten, but the only thing I can think of is that if you love what we do and want to support what we do, I want to point out there is a donation link in the YouTube description, and anything you could spare would go a long way to helping us continue to do what we love and hopefully what you love as well. I think that's it. Thank you so much to these students for this amazing semester. Thank you to all of the friends and family for being part of all of our lives and for making the most of the curses. With that in mind, I think it's time to kick this off by breaking the rule I set before. So here it comes. Everyone, please enjoy the final production of TYR's Macbeth.
Shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
In the hurly-burly stun when the battle's lost and won.
That will be the set of sun. Where's the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth. I come, Grey Morgan.
Paddock calls.
Anna. Fair is foul.
And foul is fair.
And fill the air.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt, the new estates.
This is the sergeant, who, like a good and hearty soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broilers thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald showed like a rebel's whore, but all is too weak, for brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name, like Valor's minion, carved out of passage, in faith till he faced the slave, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Worthy cousin, great gentleman.
No sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian land, surveying the vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo.
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. But I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
So will thy wounds become thee as thy words. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict. Till that Bellana's bridegroom, lapped with proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us!
Great happiness.
That now Swino, the Norway's king, craves composition. Nor would we deign him burial of his men until he dispersed at St. Colmsinch $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive her bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, Arianthe witch, the rump-fed rain cries. Her husband's to a Lepocon, master that tiger. But in a thief, I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a win.
And I another.
I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow all the quarters that they know I, the shipman's car'll drain him dry as hay, shall sleep neither night nor day. Hang upon his penthouse lid, he shall live a man forbid. Nearly 7, 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, peak, and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look what I have.
Show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb, wrapped as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come. The weird sisters hand in hand.
Posters of the sea and land.
Dost do go about. Thrice to thine and thrice to mine.
And thrice again to make up 9.
Yes.
Oh. So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called to Forres? What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it?
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth, that shall begin hereafter.
My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction, of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear, nor favors nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail! Lesser than Macbeth and greater. Not so happy, yet much happier.
Kings, but thou shalt be enough. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
What? How of Cawdor, the Thane of Cawdor, lives a prosperous gentleman, and to be king is now to the prospect of belief.
Say from whence you own this strange intelligence, or why you stop our way with prophetic greetings. Whither are they vanished? Into the air. And what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane route that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings!
You shall be king!
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success.
We are thus sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life, which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and advantage. In his country's wrack, I know not, but treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him.
Look how our partner's wrapped. Thanks for your pains.
Do you not hope your children shall be kings? Then those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them.
That, trusted helm, might yet enkindle you onto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence.
This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why have they given me earnest of success? If good, why do I yield to foul suggestion? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings, and nothing is but what is not.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir. Come what come may. Time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Come, my friend. Think upon what hath chance, and at more time, let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Is execution done on Cawdor, or those in commission not yet returned?
My liege, I spoke with one that saw him die, who did report he confessed treason and implored your pardon. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hast less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee fully grown. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves. We will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, who we name hereafter Prince of Cumberland. Which honor must, not unaccompanied, invest him only. With signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That's a step on which I must fall down or else sore leap. For in my way it lies.
They have met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whiles I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title, before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with, "Hail, king that shalt be!" This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who, were't so, would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming.
The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor make peace between the effect and it. Oh, come, thou thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hail hereafter.
My dearest love.
Duncan comes here tonight.
And goes hence tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch.
Castle hath a pleasant seat. The air sweetly and nimbly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
The air is delicate.
See, our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, which still we think as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God yield us for your pains and thank us for your troubles.
All our service were poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Fair and noble hostess, we are your guest. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly and shall continue our graces towards him.
If it were done, when 'tis the then 'twere well it were done quickly, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all, but we jump the life to come. He's here in double trust. First as I am his kinsman and his subject strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself.
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
We shall proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late. I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem?
I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What feast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. I know how 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I, with wine and wassail, so convince that memory. The warder of the brain shall be a fume. When in a swinish sleep their drenched natures lies as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great quell, when we've marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber and used their very daggers? Who dares receive it other?
Thy undaunted mettle composes me. Away, and mock the time with the fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restraining me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. What? Friend, not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them.
Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and my allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while, my friend.
Thanks, sir. The likes to you.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me touch thee. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation? Mine eyes are made the fools of your other senses, or else worth all the rest. I still see thee. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. It is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What? Oh!
Alack, I am afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd had done it. My husband?
I have done the deed. Did thou not hear a noise?
Now.
There's one did laughs and sleep, and one cried murder. They did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are 2 lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore I could not pronounce amen. I had most need of the blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder sleep, Bloms hath murdered sleep, and Connor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them, and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
Go no further. I am afraid to think what I've done.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Noise when every noise appalls me. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand?
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. Get on your nightgown lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub, come in time. Knock, knock. Who's there in its other devil's name? Faith, here's an equivocator that could swear in both scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, and yet not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator! Knock, knock, knock! Who's there?
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the 2 o'clock, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of 3 things.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes, it provokes a desire, but takes away the performance.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir. His very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie, and I think, being too strong for him. Though he took up my legs sometimes. Yet I made a shift to cast him.
Thy master stirring.
It seems we have awakened him. Good morrow, good Macbeth.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
You did command me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I'll make so bold to call, or 'tis my limited service.
Night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings hit the air, strange screams of death. Some say the earth was feverish and shook.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee!
What is the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is you say? The life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Kick off this downy sleep, that's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up, up, and see the great doom's image.
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak.
O gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. Oh, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Whoa! Alas, what, in our house?
Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
And I had died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instance there's nothing serious in mortality.
What is amiss?
You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
Oh. By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Yet, I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason.
Help me hence. Ho!
Look to the lady.
When we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. Against the undivulged pretense, I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
Why do you hold your tongue when most may claim this argument for yours?
What should be spoken here? Were my fate hidden in auger hole, may Russian seize me. My tears are not yet brewed.
What will you do?
I'll not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England. This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim.
Threescore and 10, I can remember well, for such a volume of time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. This sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Thou seest the heavens as troubled by man's act, that threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp. Is to night's predominance, or the day's shame, that darkness does the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done.
How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is't known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm, the king's son, has stolen away and fled, which puts upon him suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriftless ambition shall raven up thine own life's means. And 'tis most like the sovereignty shall fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Combkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, Sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua.
Thou hast it now, King. Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playest most foully for it. Yet it was shed, it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest. Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast. Goes your son with you?
Fleance does so. Our time does call upon us.
Farewell. Satan! Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo thick and deep. We chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet like they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head, placed a fruitless crown. For Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered. To make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. Who's there? Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness, and we have considered of thy speeches.
We did so and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Banquo is our sworn enemy.
You now find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world hath so incensed that I am reckless what I do despite the world.
Banquo is your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life. And though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it, yet I must not. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love.
We shall, my lord, perform as you command us.
It must be done tonight. Fleance, his son who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour.
We are resolved, my lord.
It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Not sad, all spent, where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. Oh dear my lord, why do you keep alone, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. Ere will we eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams.
Come on, gentle my lord. Be bright and jovial among your guests.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his Pleance lives.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse.
Who did bid thee join with us?
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
And stand with us.
Hark, I hear horses.
Then 'tis he.
'Tis he.
Stand to it.
Pleance, your horse. It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Fly, good Pleance! Fly! Fly! Fly!
Who did strike out the lights?
Was not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled. We have lost best half of our affair.
Well, what's away? Say how much was done.
close contriver of all harm.
Was never called to bear my
Or show the glory of our art. Great business must be wrought ere noon.
upon the corner of the moon.
And that distilled by magic's lights shall raise such artificial sprites
As by the strength of their illusion,
shall draw him on to his confusion. Meet us in the morning.
meet us in the morning.
Meet us in the morning. Meet us in the morning.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble hosts. For my heart speaks, you all are welcome.
My king.
Be large in mirth! Anon will drink and measure the table round. There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then. My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance.
Most royal sir, Banquo's son has escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I'd else been perfect. Now get thee gone.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. Now good digestion wait on appetite.
And health on both.
May it please your highness sit?
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, were the graced person of our Banquo present.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please it your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Let's not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feet, and regard him not. Are you a man?
The bold to look upon that sight.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan's chamber. When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Behold! Oh, how say you? Why? What care I? If thou canst not speak too!
What? Quite unmanned in folly.
I stand here, I saw him!
Fie. For shame.
The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die and there an end. But now they rise again.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Avaunt! Include my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold! Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with!
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
Would man dare? I dare! Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble! And soar in shadow! Why so? Being God, I am man again.
My lords, good night. Pray, go at once.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. What sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. I will tomorrow to the Weird Sisters. More shall they speak. For now I am bent to know.
My former speeches help hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say, things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Marry, he was dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Men must not walk too late. Who cannot want the thought of how monstrous it was for young Malcolm, the late king's son, to kill his gracious father? Damned fact, how it grieved Macbeth! Did he not straight and pious rage the two delinquents tear that were slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was it not nobly done? Aye, and wisely so. 'Twould anger any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, he's borne all things well. Sir, can you tell me where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court, and is received by the most pious Edward with much grace. Thither Macduff is gone, to pray the king, to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward. And by the help of these, we may again do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt at war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute "Sir, not I," the cloudy messenger turns me his back.
And that well might advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this, our suffering country, under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Is the blinded cat hath immune? Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Is this time, this time?
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first, I the charmed pot. Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake in the cauldron, boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like hell broth, boil and bubble.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf, of the salt ravine sea shark, a root of hemlock diggeth the dark, and thereto the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
Round about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Oh no, you secret hags! What is you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. However you come to know and answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
I'll answer.
Say if thou wouldst rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh. Sweat that sweatened from the murderer's gibbet. Throw into the flame. Come high or low thyself and office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Feet. Dismiss me. Enough.
But one word more!
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth. Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
And live Macduff? What near I hear of thee? But yet I'll make assurance double sure.
The lion mettled, proud and take no care, who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Birnam wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come again to him.
That will never be! Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? But yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Shall Banquo's issue rule in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied! Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you!
Show his eyes and grieve his heart.
Come like shadows, so depart.
is so?
Aye, sir. All this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly?
Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites and show the best of our delights. Then this great king may kindly say, our duties did a welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone! Are you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
The air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them.
My lord. My good lord. A rider sent to bring you word of Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my lord.
The very first things of my heart shall be the first things of my hand. This evening the castle of Macduff I will surprise. Give to the edge all unfortunate souls that trace him in his mind. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before the purpose cool.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there we our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall birth them.
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. That which thou art, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell.
I would not be the villain that thou thinkest for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp.
Be not offended. I speak not in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. But my poor home shall have more vices than it had before, by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned than evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, bearing every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. My desire, better than Macbeth than such a one to reign.
There cannot be. That vulture in you to devour so many, as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
I have not the king becoming graces, as justice, verity, temperance, stableness. I have no relish of them, but abound in each division several crime, acting it in many ways. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, and found on
fit to
earth.
Govern.
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. O nation miserable, when shalt thou see the wholesome days again? Since that the truest of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest itself upon thyself. Hath banished me from Scotland, O my breast, Thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains, has sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over-credulous haste. But God above, deal between thee and me, for even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. What I am is thine and my poor country's to command. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile.
My lords, the Thane of Ross have come.
My ever gentle cousin, welcome hither. Stay in Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It could not be called our mother but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile.
What is the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
Be not so veiled with your speech. How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows who were out. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled out into the desert air.
What concern they? The general cause.
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard. Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner whereon the quarry of these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven! What, man? Give sorrow words. Never pull your hat upon your brows. The grief that never speaks bids the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And they must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, Hellkite, all?
Dispute it like a man?
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine. They'll slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Let this be the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring down this fiend of Scotland and myself. Then my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
Beth is ripe for shaking. and the powers above put on their instruments.
Receive what cheer you may. The night is longest that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights' watch with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it you last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this is while in a most fast sleep.
In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what, if anything, have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most you should.
Neither to you nor anyone having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise. And upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubbed her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue in this quarter of an hour.
Here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. Sit down what comes due to satisfy her remembrance more strongly.
Out, damned spot. Out, I say. 1, 2. Why then? 'Tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a fear? What need we fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fief had a wife. Where is she now? What, will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go. You should know, you should not.
She spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh.
Heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
This disease is beyond my practice.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on's grave. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
More needs she, the divine and the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. And so good night, for my mind has made it and amazed my sight.
Good night, good doctor.
English power approaches, led on by Malcolm, his Uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge burns in them.
Near Burnham Wood shall we well meet them. That way are they coming?
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsing, he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others that lesser hate him call it valiant fury. But for certain, he cannot buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murder sticking to his hands. Those he command move only in command, nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose about him, like a giant's robe upon a dwarvish thief.
Who then shall blame his pestered senses to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there?
Well, march we on, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed. And him we pour in our country's purge, each drop of us.
Or so much as it needs, do the sovereign flower and drown the weeds.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood move to Dunes's Inn, I cannot taint with fear. What's this boy, Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born a woman shall e'er have power upon thee. The heart I bear shall never sag with doubt.
My lord, there's 10,000 soldiers.
What soldiers?
The English force, so it please you.
Doctor, I am sick at heart. And that which should accompany old age as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I shall not look to have. But in their stead, curses not loud, but deep. Satan!
All's confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight. From my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me mine armor.
It is not needed yet.
Give me my armor. Hang those that talk of fear. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she's troubled with thick coming fancies that keep her from rest.
Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Though physics to the dogs, I'll none of it. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, purge her disease, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud itself again. Pull it off, I say. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsany!
Were I from Dunsany, away and clear. Prophet again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the day is near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers in our host, and make discovery ere in report of us.
Shall be done.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsany, and shall endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more or less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrain things, whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls! Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn! What was that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I've almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. Now I have supped full with many horrors. Direness cannot once start me.
Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord. I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move toward Dunsinane.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath. If be it not so, within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say a moving grove.
I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of this fiend that lies like truth. Arm! Arm, arm, and go out! If this which he avouches does appear, there is nor flying heads nor tarrying here!
Now is near enough. Your leafy screens throw down. Show those like you are.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten, if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly. I bear like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none! be afraid to hear it. Traitorous Thane!
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear. Yeah!
Thou was born of woman. Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
This way, my lord. The castle is gently rendered.
We have met with
The tyrant.
we have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir. The castle.
Outweigh the noises. Tyrant, show thy face, if thou beest slain, and with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghost will haunt me still. Let me find him. Fortune more, I beg not. Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back! My soul is much too charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out. Ah!
Thou losest labor. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou hast served tell thee Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be the tongue that tells me so. May these struggling fiends no more believe to keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rare monsters are, painted upon a pole and underwrit. Here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet. Though Birnam would become to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Lay on Macduff, and damned be he that first cries, hold! Enough! Ah!
Ah!
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum.
I would the friends we missed were safe arrived.
Macduff is missing, and the noble Ross.
The Thane of Ross has paid a soldier's debt.
Then he is dead?
Aye.
He's worth more sorrow than that I'll spend for him.
Hail, King! For so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. But the time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. And what's more, we will call home our exiled friends abroad, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought by self and violent hands, took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place.
Et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. This was the closing performance of the Scottish play Macbeth. And thank you so much for joining. If you have anyone who would like to watch but did not get a chance, the show will remain up at this link on replay as well as yesterday's. The other cast performances are also up there. Please check out the website for our summer stuff, as I mentioned. If you're interested in the watching the TYR teacher show of Among Us, I think that's on June 5th, and you can find the links and info for that on the website under the Among Us section. Again, a big shout out to our sponsor, Food Veil Optometry, and a thank you to ACMT. And again, if you'd like to support us directly, there is a donation link in the YouTube description. Thank you so much, and thank you to all these amazing actors. We'll see you in the future.